Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Shadowrun Dragonfall. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you chose to join me today as we board the train to, well, our doom. Assemble the team and travel to the coordinates that Alice provided to find a backdoor access point and shut down the Apex AI, because we need to deal with the dragon. So we're gonna take Blitz, obviously. Oh, he wasn't automatically added. We can take Dante now! Did we upgrade Dante? We might have upgraded Dante. I think I upgraded Dante. I'm not sure. Either way, we're taking Blitz. We're likely taking Iger and Dietrich. Let's go at it like this. They're sort of out of order, but it's fine. We don't mind. You're about to travel to Apex AI location. Yes, please. We don't know where it is. We just know the coordinates. Then obviously the game doesn't tell us where it is. It's just somewhere in Germany. Apex, an artificial intelligence designed for matrix warfare. The thought of it sends a chill down your spine. For years, the shadows have been ripe with rumors of true AI. Names like Mirage and Psychotrope have fueled conspiracy boards on the Shadowland BBS since 2029. Most savvy Shadowrunners dismiss these stories as bunk. But from what Alice has told you, at least one of the stories is real. Apex is waiting for you, somewhere down in the basement of an abandoned Saderkrupp lab. Unfortunately, you're going to have to wade through a lot of gang territory to get there. It's fine. The gangs they're our friends. They're good. They like us a little. So what are we gonna do? Well, hopefully get some weapons lent over here. Let's see. So, sniper first, maybe, potentially. Let's see how good that is. That is incredibly good. That's how good that is. So we absolutely wasted money. I knew I figured I was gonna waste money. That is damage 20. That is just unbelievably good. Then again, did we buy this in the latest round or was it before? And we got an Enfield AS7. That's a shotgun. That's also incredibly good. And in terms of SMGs, we have the same model over here, the SCK Model 100. So yay for that. And of course, we have Max. Max might be upgradable. I'm not sure. Oh, right. But the spells are different in Stash. Wait, are they different? I think you equip these when you go... Yeah, when you go into the Matrix in the level. So, I think we're going to be okay. And Dietrich, maybe that's a different thing. Did I buy spells for you, Dietrich? Because I think I did. I said spells before. It wasn't spells. It was Matrix programs and whatnot. We have Acid Bolt 1. Yeah. I thought I did. Apparently I didn't. It's fine. We're good. So, Edie. You have things over here. How come? I don't fully understand that. It's fine. So, armor. Matrix Echo. Blitz's outfit. Well, hopefully you take new armor. Because I got... No, he doesn't. Really? I bought all that stuff for nothing? It's fine. We don't need the money. But still, my God. Unless... No. I definitely bought the armor for... Yeah, that's a good armor. That is really good. For the main character, naturally. Because the armor apparently can only be used by the main character. Sounds okay to me. And we're going to go with a Cavalier Frag Grenade. We're going to go with a Fichetti Frag Grenade. No, yeah, sure, I suppose. It's good to have that as a backup because we're not going to use it too much. We got Night Errant Flashbang. Do I have other types of flashbangs? I don't, actually. Unless I do. Oh, Ares Highly Explosive. Cool. Let's go with that. Let's go with the healing kits. I'm not a fan of how the game scrolls up every time I do this. Maybe items is where I should be looking at, especially now. That's good enough. We have the Bomona Trauma Kit, and we got the gold one. We're not really going to worry too much about that. And confirm. Let's do this. Hopefully I won't lose the mission. Yes, I want to spend my karma. I have 16. I think I'll be able to... Yeah, no, not really. I'll be able to get close combat. So that's nice. Let's keep focusing on that instead of going up on strength. So find a way into the basement to access Apex's kill switch. Okay. And the key for highlighting things is the Alt key. We have friends right up ahead. And medical supplies and equipment. It's gonna be fine. Excuse me. A huge orc is in ragged combat fatigues, steps forward to meet you. He walks with the swollen bravado of a man who's used to getting what he wants. One of his meaty arms jerks up, hand held upright in the universal sign for stop. The other clutches a bulky assault rifle. The orc inspects you. His body language is decidedly unfriendly. You don't look like a magnificer. You're not one of us, and I'm guessing you ain't here for the hub either. So tell me, who are you, and what's your interest in this building? I need to go get into the basement. It's important. Oh, it's important, you say? He makes a sweeping gesture in the direction of the building behind him. The other assorted... What? That's not a word. Is that a word? No. What is that a word? That's not a word. Toughs? Toffs? It could be. I doubt it. I think it's thugs. It's supposed to be thugs. I'm not sure what happened to the word thugs there, but either way, the other assorted thugs behind him smile. Yeah, there's an uncharacteristic lack of commas in this particular dialogue over here, and the toffs over there. I don't know. Maybe it is toffs, because that sounds familiar. Either way. Well, by all means, go on in then. Really? Thanks. He lets out a snort of derisive laughter. No, not really. You dense. This building's under our Bater protection. We can't just let a stranger go waltzing on in. He might shoot up the place. I'm not planning on shooting anything, not unless I have to. Yeah, well, I can't exactly take that at face value. Look, it'd be better for everyone if you just turn back. We don't want to fight you, but we can't risk letting an unknown player into this. He pauses for a moment to search for the right word. Situation. Into this situation right now. Well, you don't get to make that call. I have business inside, and that's where I'm going. If you want to try to stop me, be my guest. The orc gives you an appraising look. My kill list is already full up for the day. As long as you stay cool, we can settle this peacefully. Good call, says Dietrich. He pauses for a moment to consider, a thoughtful look on his face. Ulrich, the orc that we're dealing with, does. You look like you can handle yourself. We might be able to use you. Easy money, if you're interested. If not, well, the assault rifle in his hand shifts position slightly. That's a different conversation. And what exactly do you want us to do? Iger's tone is neutral, her posture relaxed, but one of her hands casually comes to rest on the butt of her shotgun. Ulrich doesn't seem to notice. We're having some trouble with a local mage gang, the Magnificers. The orc turns his head and spits. They attacked us without warning, took up in our building, and kicked us onto the street. Me and my boys were the rightful protectors of this block, but the assholes that screwed us, they've got the building buttoned up pretty tight. We can't get in there to make things right, but maybe you can. If you could enter the building and do some damage to those Drek-eating Magnificers, the Arbiters would be willing to pay you. 200 nuyen per kill. You bring me back their amulets, and you get paid. How's that sound? Iger raises an eyebrow. Your call, fearless leader. You know the timetable we're working on. Nah, thanks, but no thanks. I don't have time to go mage hunting. He shrugs and then nods towards the building entrance. No help, no access. And I can't guarantee your safety out here on the street. It's your choice. Alright, you've convinced me. I'll do it. Good. Yeah, I think that this will work. Yeah, he falls for the... For the thing that only people in RPGs fall for. You accepting a quest and them making a decision based on the fact that you accepted the quest. But fortunately, the game actually allows us to lie, so it's assuring us as players that we don't need to make a sacrifice, if this is going to be indeed a sacrifice. I don't really need the money, but more importantly, if it is a timetable situation that we're dealing with, and it is, if the game decides to, because you came back and got the money, now you're going to have to deal with a big scorpion robot or something, then I'm not going to come back for the money. But yeah, the fact that he allows us in because we say we're going to deal with the mages is just... yeah, people don't do that in real life. Either way, I mean, it's got to do with the fact that that's how RPGs are designed, either way. And the writing reflects how RPGs is designed. This is an age-old writing pitfall, I suppose? Either way, Iger gives you a small nod. Her hand falls away from the stock of her shotgun. You need anything else, or are you ready to go crack some skulls? I want to know what I'm going up against. Tell me about the Magnificers. A gang of parasites. They think that their magical talents make them better than everyone else. Because of that, they feel entitled to take whatever they want. Up until recently, they have been content with pulling pranks and stealing purses. Childish dreck, but they were basically harmless. Then their new leader took over. Calls himself Trithemius, I think. But I remember when he was just a skinny little prick named Yuri. He lets out a derisive snort. I should have kept a better eye on him, I guess. Should have stomped him flat when he started putting on airs. Would have saved everyone a heap of trouble. Trithemius took over the Magnificers, militarized them, and convinced them that they could take us. And thanks to the element of surprise, they actually managed to do it. The orc folds his arms across his burly chest. Any day now, we're gonna show him exactly how bad an idea that was. I think I'll start by breaking Yuri's neck. You look pretty dug in out here. How long do you intend to man the trenches? We'll be out here as long as it takes. We're taking our building back one way or another. For over 3 years, we protected that place. We held it for the people, that's capital P, people, to do with as they pleased. Kept it safe from parasites and exploiters. Everything was cool until those Drexaw Magnificers sucker punched us. No negotiation, no warning, they just turned on us out of the blue. Brought a couple dozen spirits down on our heads. I don't even know that we were under attack until, or I didn't even know that we were under attack until the water in the bathtub snaked up and tried to drown me. Most of us got out alive, but we've been stuck out here ever since. Just give us some time, though. We'll take the building back. We'll starve him out if we have to. And when we do, those scrawny bastards are gonna pay. Yeah, I want to know who I'm working for. I'm Ulrich, leader of the Berlin chapter of the Arbiters. We're a polyclub, small but growing. We serve the police. Oh, we serve the police. I was thinking, yeah, we serve the people, rather. That's what he says. I was trying to think what a polyclub means. It might be like a It might be a police, sort of like a, armed vigilantes situation. Because we've heard this we've heard this word a lot in this game, but it's always been sort of decontextualized. That this is probably the most contextualized it's ever gonna be. I don't know, maybe we're gonna deal with an even bigger polyclub, and it's gonna be explained what it is. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to look it up. He says, we serve the people of the working class, protect them from the parasites that would exploit them. You're not a fan of the F-state, then? Anarchy is not the solution for the people's problems. Do what thou will is that German? No, that's Old English. Is a policy that rewards only the powerful. The working class gets trampled. A strong, people-centered communist movement is the only way to protect the interests of the common man. Give us a few years, and that's exactly what we're gonna be. I thought... I honestly thought the F-state was anti-corporate. And by being anti-corporate, it is people-centered. That's weird. It might be just the way... Because the thing is, the same thing can be portrayed differently by different people, and can be seen differently by different people, and so you get a very different impression of the same exact thing based on who you talk to. Earlier in the game, the way people talked about the F-state, I thought it was an anarchist sort of enclave situation. Obviously, still still, what's the word? There's a word for what I'm trying to say. Subject to the whims of international corporations because of how powerful they are, but that's just how things work. But that doesn't mean that doesn't mean it's people-centered, or it's not people-centered. Huh. Maybe it isn't. Maybe it is anarcho-capitalist or something like that. It didn't feel like that, but then again, anarcho-capitalism is a complicated ideology, mostly because it isn't one. It's just mostly then a set of principles. It's not really ideology. It's just an objective that tends not to have very solid philosophical grounding, in the sense that it doesn't come from... It's basically like a compromise turned political ideology. Either way, anything I should know about the building before I head inside? You'll probably see some burnouts floating around the ground floor. They're all there for the hub. It's like some kind of church or something. A guy called Parson runs it. Between you and me, they're all... Because tween is a word, and I didn't know what it was saying. Yeah. Between you and me, they're all batshit crazy. Not dangerous, just nuts. Why'd you keep them around at all, then? Asks Dietrich. Because a lot of them are rich. They paid a drac load in rent, and we redistributed that wealth to the common man. I have a hard time buying that. I have, but also, you define yourselves as the common men, is a guess that I can make. I don't think I can make that. I mean, I can make that. I can say that. Let me guess. You define yourselves as the common men. I'm not sure. They like this language that he's using. Obviously, is rooted in communist language and the appropriation of the appropriation. Is that the word? That's not the word. Basically taking the what the rich have and giving it to the people. That sort of language it's definitely rooted in that. But what I mean to say is, he definitely feels like a Robin Hood rather than a party commissar situation, where basically that would be the common man being the government, sort of the bureaucracy, which then works to supposedly redistribute that wealth. But well, that's complicated. That's another part of that's another step. The thing is, yeah, he defines himself as a common man, but that he doesn't define the common man as himself, which is what this feels like. Let me guess, you define common men as you, is what this feels like saying. I'm gonna say it. Let's see what he says. Do you see a tie around my neck, pal? Do I look like a corporate stooge to you? We are the friends of the people, and we are the people. Don't you dare to question it. Huh? Okay. So it wasn't what I thought it felt like saying. What am I accusing him of? What is the question then? Is that he's not a common man? Because, I mean, I assume because he has weapons, maybe? Either way. Just one more thing. I need to get into the basement. Anything you can do that would help me out? Basement? What could you possibly want to go down there for? You wouldn't believe me if I told you. You'd be surprised what I'd believe. Try me. Alright, I need to stop a killer AI so that I can rescue an elderly scientist from a ghost dragon. The future of Berlin could be at stake. You're right, I don't believe you. You're either lying or you're crazy. But crazy has its uses. Alright, I'll get you into that basement. But it'll cost you. Yeah, of course it will. Dietrich sneers. Another Bush League extortionist trying to milk us for cash. You've got the wrong idea. I don't need Nguyen. Friend, what I need is Trithemius' head on a fucking platter. Problem is, he's holed up somewhere in the building, and we don't know where. Best guess, he's hiding somewhere upstairs in a room with no exterior windows. Somewhere, probably someplace close, he's stashed the power coupling for the elevator. He pulled it to keep us from getting access to the guns we stashed in the basement. So, you find and kill Trithemius. Is that how it's pronounced? I think it is. Grab the coupling out of his apartment and bring me that stupid amulet he's always wearing so I'll know he's dead. He cracks a grin. And then I give you the control chip that I pulled when we had to fall back. Slot them back slot them both back into the elevator, and it'll take you straight to the basement. All right, I'll see what I can do. Good. Just remember, no amulet, no basement. Now go on, though, and show that little prick what it means to screw with the arbiters. Well, usually in RPGs, when people ask me to bring an amulet as proof of somebody's death, there's going to be an option where I can just ask them for the amulet and pretend that they died. Because it's specifically the amulets I've found. There's a lot of RPGs that do that. A lot of them. And it's weird that it is specifically the amulets. So there's 2 entrances. We're going to take the other one because it seems like this one is a side entrance. Also, it seems like I might have missed something over here. I did not. That is the exit, or that is the end. I can't even go beyond those pipes over there, apparently. So let's go over here. And we have Parson. Oh, the leader of the... Right away? Really? The attendant behind the counter is an uncommonly fine-featured dwarf with... Oh, he looks, yes, very smart. With a, as in, not smart-looking, you know, not intelligent-looking. I mean, what I mean... Is that a word? You can say that, right? He looks... No, probably not when you're talking about people. Like, smart suit is a thing that you can say about somebody's suit. But when it's a person, I need to be specific. He looks very dapper, probably, the word. Anyway, I don't know, English words. Commonly fine-featured dwarf with a beatific smile. A yellow ID tag pinned to his chest announces his name in large blocky letters. Parson. Yes. He nods at you and raises a hand in greeting. Welcome to the hub, brother. Are you here to share in the splendor of the communion? If so, I can show you to an empty terminal. What do you do here? I am the custodian of the hub. I tend to the bodies of our brothers and sisters while they share in the rapture of communion. I have some questions for you about the local gang activity. He nods. We do seem to have more than our fair share. Very well, I will answer your questions. Should I be worried about the gang war that seems to be gearing up around us? While you remain in the hub, you have nothing to fear. We pay well for the use of this place, and neither gang would risk driving us away. And the rest of the building? He spreads his hands. If you choose to go exploring, I can't guarantee your safety. What can you tell me about the arbiters? Parson lets a heavy sigh out. A pack of snarling animals dressed up as a poly club. I'd steer clear of them if I were you. Their ideology is loosely based on new communist movements from the past. In truth, I think that they just copied a few pages from an old Red Army faction handbill without ever bothering to learn what they meant. For all their rhetoric, the arbiters are just another street gang. They shout for the sake of shouting. There's no real conviction there. If you came from outside, you've probably bumped into their leader, a huge orc who calls himself Ulrich. He can seem reasonable, but I'd give him a wide berth. Before I read anything else from him, his argument is very compelling, honestly, against the arbiters, that is. The problem is, it's an argument that, well, it's a very typical argument, honestly, to be made. It's an argument that works very well said by certain people, and serves to masquerade the real division when said by other people. So if you were saying the arbiters are just posers, they just read a pamphlet and they don't really know what they're talking about, I know what I'm talking about, and I'll explain to you what the real communism is. So follow me instead. You know, that is an argument that you can make. If you're saying, oh, they're real posers, join my, I don't know, corporate overlords or something, because they're posers, they don't know what they're saying. That's not an argument you can make, because it's like saying, oh yeah, your cake is poorly made. You used the wrong kind of sugar. And I'm like, yeah, but it's still cake. I don't want to eat your whatever thing that isn't cake that you're trying to sell me. You know what I mean? Either way, he's just coming at it from a. He's not really. He's not really trying to. He's not really being manipulative, I suppose. He's just sort of throwing some smoke up in the air and being like, oh, they don't really know what they're talking about, and so you just should not care for them at all. I don't know. Anyway, one more note. If I were you, I'd avoid being seen with the Magnificers. The arbiters take shots at members of the mage gang whenever they see them. If you're not careful, you could find yourself caught in the crossfire. Yeah, tell me about the Magnificers. I thought he was the leader of them or something. But maybe not. Power-drunk fools, the lot of them. The Arbiters were bad enough, but the Magnificers are even worse. The Arbiters' interests were limited to theft and violence in the name of their cause. The Magnificers, they have power, and they seem to relish in abusing it. So, theft and violence in the name of their power. Sounds about right. Now that they've claimed the upper levels of the building, it isn't safe to travel beyond the ground floor. Several members of our congregation have been mauled to death by the Magnificers as pet spirits. He shakes his head sadly. Now we travel only in groups. You're safe down here, though? Asks Dietrich. Yeah, Trimethius needs the hub. To threaten this congregation would be to jeopardize his primary source of income. But the upper floors enjoy no such protection. They have become dangerous places to travel. Yeah, I'm looking for Trimethius. Any idea how I could find him? The smile fades from Parsons' face. Trimethius is a dangerous man. Why do you ask? Ulrich asked me to kill him. I don't care much for that idea, so I've got a counter-proposal. No, that's a different... Yeah, I made a deal with Ulrich. Trimethius, whatever, he's involved. Trimethius is almost certainly upstairs, hidden away from the outside world. I wouldn't advise going after him, but if your mind is made up, I suppose that I can't change it. Yes, I can tell you how to find him, but I will need something from you in return. Yeah, of course you will, says Blitz. Saw that coming. Tell us what you need. A pair of squatters on the second floor ripped the guts out of one of my terminals. They've taken the data jack signal converter, and the terminal will be out of commission until I get it back. A single damaged terminal may not sound like much, but trust me, the entire experience of communion has been diminished by this act of vandalism. I believe that I know the squatters responsible. Their leader's name is Janet. She's a decker of some skill. I don't know what she has planned for my part, but I do know that the situation will not stand. I cannot allow another terminal to be damaged. And so you want us to deal with them for you? Asks Dietrich. Yes, but not with violence. I want you to talk with them and convince them to bring me back my components. Do this and I'll tell you how to get to Trimethius. Deal? Sounds straightforward enough. Excellent, it's a deal then. I might be interested. Tell me more. I'm not sure what more is. Oh, it's about the communion. Communion is a spiritual experience, friend, available to all for a small donation. He gestures at the banks of terminals lining the walls. The hub acts as the core of the communion. Those who jack into it are in turn linked to one another, daisy-chained together at the brainstem. Race, gender, social class, all of the artificial barriers to empathy that we have constructed as a culture. Communion strips them all away. It is a monument to the great truth that so many of us deny, that we are all the same at the core. Imagine it, friend, dozens of individual minds all tied together into a single cohesive whole, sharing in a collective subconscious, connected through the hub. Parson raises his hands in supplication. Join with us and feel your limitations fall away. This feels like... I'm not sure this is actually how the setting works. Because the thing is, we're dealing with science fiction, so it could be that the setting actually has this, but this working, this whole thing, collective subconscious stuff going on, but it very likely isn't how it works, and it's just pseudoscientific application of technology and just, people doing whatever they want to feel connected to each other, because, well, that's a large part of this sort of sects and whatnot. You and your congregation need to stop. There's a killer AI on the loose in this building. They might die, actually. Yeah, that's a good point. Not right now, thanks. I'm definitely not jacking in. Oh, that might have to do with the killer AI, actually. If they might be hooked up because the AI is, like, grooming them or something. Parson inclines his head. His smile does not falter. Whenever you're ready, you may return. Is there anything more that I can help you with in the meantime? Yeah, can you tell me anything about this building? Beyond the hub, there isn't much to speak of. There's a small shop down the hall if you're hungry or in need of basic supplies. He shrugs and offers an apologetic smile. And that's about it, I'm afraid. I need to get down to the basement. Ah, that would be difficult. The stairway leading down to the building sublevels has been blocked, and the elevator has been sabotaged. It stopped working at the same time that the arbiters were driven from the building. As we discussed, if we recover my stolen property, I will tell you how to find Trimethius. Otherwise, you could try your luck with Ulrich out front, but I wouldn't recommend it. Can you tell me anything about the building? The upper levels, I mean? There are floors above us, of course, but you're unlikely to find anything of value up there. Just the domiciles of the faithful and the magnificers who have taken charge of the building. I would steer clear of them if I were you. Thank you. Anytime. Now, is there anything else I can do for you? No, I don't need anything else, so thanks. Come back anytime. I will come back, but not this episode, so it's not this time. For right now, I'm Colonel RPG. Kill the system is written over there, and this has been Shadowrun Dragonfall. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment, like the video if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later, but above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.